Alright, let's make a custom transom mount for this kayak so we can put a motor on it. Picked up these steel L brackets from the hardware store here, and as you can see they're 5x5, and in the end we're going to put this 2x4 on the end of it, so it's looking like we're going to have to cut an inch off of the end of either one of these with the angle grinder. Let's mark these up here, get the safeties, and cut. And by the way, I picked up both of those brackets for $6. And here's the L brackets cut to the proper size there. So here I'm going to start hauling up this kayak. I tied a halyard to the painter of the kayak so I can haul it up a lot easier. The halyard I'm using is a strong rope that goes up through the mast and comes out the top. And then the painter is the little rope that connects to the bow of the kayak. Alright, so now that I got the yak on deck, let's start taking some stuff apart here. I'm gonna have to take out this little storage compartment thingy here so I can get underneath and tighten up the bottom of the bolts. So I'm gonna unscrew this whole little setup here one by one, take each little screw out so that I can get my arm in there to finally ratchet in the last of these bolts. This kayak is not exactly the most stable vessel on the sea here, and I capsized it a few times, and I'm hoping that once I get this motor on there, it creates some ballast weight on the bottom end. Alright, so now that's all unscrewed, let's yoink out this storage compartment here and chuck it to the side so it's not in our way while we do the rest of these modifications in the back here. Alright, so let's get rid of some of this hardware in the back here. It's like a little handle that you can use to drag it, but for this, it's going to be in our way. We're going to put our bracket right there, so nice and clean. Let's measure out this 2x4. I think it came out to about 6 inches. Alright, let's cut off this little piece of wood. I'm actually using a metal cutoff wheel on my angle grinder to make these cuts in the wood here. Alright, let's get this mocked up here. So I'm gonna grab the drill, some screws, screwdriver. Let's head up on deck here and start getting to it. So what we'll do here is start drilling some pilot holes. Makes the screws go in a lot smoother and prevents it from splitting. So let's get this fabbed up, mocked up a little bit, and we're gonna stick it on there, see how it fits, where it wants to go. Just get it ready for final fit up here. So I'm gonna try to line it up, get it as centered as possible, square as possible, and then I'll start drilling my holes into the actual kayak so I can bolt everything through. So I'm drilling a total of 6 holes into this kayak, and each one is gonna have a bolt with a nut and 2 washers on it. So there's a big surface area on the bottom so it doesn't come up or shift or move or anything like that. Yeah, so there's the finished mount. Pretty easy. Just a simple L bracket cut to shape. 2x4 on the back. Sturdy enough to hold this motor. So let's try and put this motor on there and see if it all fits. Moment of truth, and it fits. Sweet. Nice and square. Let's tighten this baby up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it fits on there pretty good. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Let's check it out. Get this battery on there and give it a little test. And there we go. It's spinning. This thing's going to be cruising. So there we go. yeah, I'll button everything up, get that battery in there, and be stoked to take this thing for a splash. It's gonna be pretty quick. Looks nice and centered.